Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanam Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaye Stadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Narayanam Gurung Vande Sharanyam Bhaktavandavam Gauramanubhishtam Purnam Radhadasyam Pradayakam Rupanugacharya Varyam Rupamanjari Preshtakam Patita Pavana Bandhavam Yugacharya Narayanam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tuise Namaha Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Ismera Hasar Murali Manohara Radhikara Sikha Mama Kripanide Swapriya Charana Kinkarim Kuru Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindaye Tulasi Devyai Priyaye Keshavasacha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyaye Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. So first of all, I begin offering my most humble obeisances to the dust of the lotus feet of Paramaradhatama Sri Guru Pada Padma Nitarila Pravishta Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtogottara Sata Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudeva, and to my most worshipable Shikshan Sannyasa Guru Nitarila Pravishta Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtottara Sata Srimad Srila Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and to all Shirupano Gauriya Guru Varga, to all Tridandi Sannyasis, Brahmacharis, Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, and to all the assembled devotees here today, my most respectful obeisances. So by the causeless mercy of Srila Gurudeva and all Mahabhagavatas Acharyas, we are able to assemble here one more time. So continue reading from Sri Gopi-gita, today verse number 12. Dina parikshaye nilakuntaler vanaruhananam bibradavritam dhanarajaswalam darshayam muhur manasinasmaram virayachasi. O beloved hero, as the day draws to an end, you return from the forest, your lotus face partly covered by your bluish black locks of curling hair, and veiled in a very thin layer of dust rising from the host of cow's hooves. At that time, by repeatedly showing us your beautiful lotus face, so exquisitely ornamented, you arouse an amorous desire within our minds. So in this verse, gopis are describing Krishna's return from the forest after cow grazing. How beautiful he is, how his face is covered by his curly hair, partially covered by his curly hair, and his whole body has a very thin layer of dust, which comes from the hooves of the cows when they are walking ahead of Krishna. So now let's read Srila Gurudev's commentary, Bhava Prakashika Vritti. Dina Parikshaye. Dina means day, and the Kshaya means end. Dina Parikshaya means that the end of the day has come. It is evening. The sun is moving towards the horizon, but has not yet set. Sometime earlier, around 3 o'clock, all the cows feel satisfaction from grazing, and Krishna calls to them. Dhiri dhiri means come to me. Niri niri, come to the water. And chu chu means drink water. Tiri tiri, come out of the water and onto the bank. And hayo hayo means let's go or let us go. The cows have eaten and drunk their fill, and they are ready to return home. They remember their calves and call out, Hamba, 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 I am coming. Shri Krishna then plays on his flute, gathers his friends and all the cows, and prepares to return home. Next is Nila Kuntale. Nila means dark blue or black, and Kuntale means by curly hair. Vanaruhananam bibradhavritam. Ananam means face, and avritam means covered. Shri Krishna's beautiful curly blue-black hair reaches down to his shoulders and partly covers his face, which appears like a lotus flower covered by bees. The word bibrad refers to Krishna's exhibiting the exquisite loveliness of his face, which is likened to the beautifully shining moon. Next is Dhana Rajaswalam. Raja refers to the pollen like dust of the earth. The Raja is Dhana, wealth, and here it refers to Godhana, the wealth of cows. The cows are running, returning to their homes and to their calves. Krishna has called their names by playing sweetly on his flute, and they all hurry to be with him, thinking, Krishna is calling me. Then as they return, the dust rising from their moving hooves sweeps upward towards the sky, sprinkling the leaves of the trees all around. This pollen-like dust also falls on Shri Krishna, creating a very fine covering on his face, body, and garments. As Krishna returns with the cows, he takes them in his arms and embraces them. His inner motive in doing this is solely to show his beloved gopis his lotus face, which is beautified by this dust, and to convey to them that he desires to embrace them. We have seen before in previous verses how Krishna, he does something with his friends or with the cows or with the lotus flower in hand, indicating that he wants to do that with the gopis, right? So here he's embracing the cows and showing and smiling to gopis, indicating, I want to embrace you like this also. Hearing the deep sound of his flute, the gopis stand on the road, in kunjas, and on the palace roofs, only to see him return. Krishna's behavior may be likened to that of a person posing for a photograph. That person smiles or poses in a certain way just to ensure a good picture. Similarly, Krishna thinks that the gopis should come and see his lotus face. Therefore, not just once, but again and again, he laughs, embraces the cows, and talks to his friends with the motive of showing himself to the gopis. If he notices that the gopis are not looking at him, he thinks, they must look at my face. Their loving mood will then increase and bring them to me. So it's very interesting how Krishna, he's like thinking that every gopi's eye is like a photograph machine, a camera, and he's posing to them, making different faces, making like different gestures and poses, so they can capture that very attractive and beautiful moment and the aspect of Krishna in their hearts, in their minds, And by that, he's capturing completely the gopis' mind. So next one is Smaram Vira Yachasi. When the gopis address Krishna with the words, "Oh hero," means Vira, they mean hero in Madhura Ras. You are able to give us whatever we want, they tell him. You have the power to give smar, so you are our hero. In this connection, smara refers to the Sanskrit verb smri with the suffix ni, meaning to remind. It relates to an experience of something that brings something else to mind. For example, the gopis see Krishna again and again, showing them his face that is beautified by the dust of the earth rising from the running cows. And that beauty arouses kama in their hearts. So it's like something which you remember and makes you remember another thing automatically, by uh, like connection. Something that is ordinarily considered a blemish serves to make Krishna or Srimati Radhika immeasurably more beautiful. If mud splashes onto Krishna's face, or if the dust of the earth falls on it, his beauty increases millions of times. The dust rising from the cows running throughout the land of Braj makes him appear so beautiful that whenever the gopis remember him, they become filled with kama. In the pastimes of Krishna and the gopis, kama does not mean lust, it means prema. The gopis tell Krishna, "We do not want to be attracted to you. We want to be aloof. But how can we be aloof when you show us your face again and again?" Means Krishna is provoking them all the time. Krishna is like captivating them always in that type of mood, which is like trying to conquer always the gopis, as if that was like the first time they are meeting and the first time they are like seeing each other. Now let us go to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Sarartha Darshini and Srila Jiva Goswami's Vaishnava Toshani. In their commentaries to verse 11, both acharyas have discussed the quarrel between the gopis and their mind, with the gopis on one side and their heart and mind on the other side. As mentioned earlier, the gopis told their mind, "Why are you so restless, agitated, and anxious when Krishna goes to herd the cows? There's no reason for your restlessness. What is the use of being so disturbed?" So if we can recall, like the last verse was about Krishna walking barefoot in the very sharp rocks and like dry grains, husks, things like that. And gopis are thinking that he's hurting his feet and he's feeling pain. And then they start like quarreling with their own mind. One saying it's not hurting, another one is saying it is hurting, like that. And they even came to the point of saying that Krishna is causing pain to himself just to cause pain to gopis. Like gopis, they came to such type of conclusion that it was like a type of absurd, that Krishna is even able to sacrifice himself by putting himself into pain just to give pain to gopis, because he's a very cruel person. That was like gopis' conclusion afterwards. So now Srila Gurudev is just reminding, because Srila Gurudev, he always does like that. He always will speak about the previous verse in the actual verse, which he's discussing, just to make sure you are always linking things. And this is a very good way of writing of Srila Gurudev, because he binds very, very well our, line of thought. Even if we are like 1 week ahead, from last reading, still we will be able to connect very nicely, because Gurudev, he always pushes back, our, memory and the previous verses So just to make sure that everything is like really, really understandable. This is very, very helpful, this type of writing. So now Gopi's mind replied, "You are not at all Rasik. You do not possess even a drop of ras. O Gopis, due to your ignorance, you are devoid of feeling. Krishna will go to the forest, and I want him to go. But I do not want him to experience any kind of difficulty. He should play in the forest, but he should not suffer." Hmm. So these are like Gopi's mind. Gopi's mind were in the side of uh, complaining that Krishna is feeling pain and he should not feel pain. And Gopis itself, or themselves, they are trying to say, no, there is no problem. The floor in Vrindavan, the ground in Vrindavan is already soft. And Krishna, he's very smart. He knows where to walk, where to step. So that was the discussion from the last time. Then, why are you so anxious? Then Gopis are asking their mind. I'm anxious because he follows behind the cows. Those cows wander to places that are filled with sharp grass shoots, edges of dry grains, chips of stone, and other things that will hurt him. To this the Gopis responded, you are simply blinded by prema. And this is not true at all. Krishna has eyes. He will see where it is safe to walk and will only place his feet where the grass is silken and the sand is soft. And their mind replied, O Gopis, you think like this because you are neither intelligent nor rasik. Cows have no wisdom or discrimination. They will not remain on smooth paths. They will stray, and Krishna will follow them in order to bring them back to the path. And the Gopis said, yes, we agreed that Krishna will go to those places, but Brahma has created us to suffer, so we are suffering. Their mind then told them, it is all right for you to stay here and suffer, but I will not. I am going to leave your body along with your life heirs. I must leave. You should stay here and suffer alone. Now the Gopis are telling Krishna, by not being with us, you make us suffer. When you herd the cows, we feel separation from you and become afflicted with sorrow. But it is not only then that we feel this pain. You feel the same grief when we are with you. How is this so? In the evening, along with your cows and friends, you return to the cowsheds in the village of Vrindavan. At that time, your face is finally veiled by the foot dust of the cows and by your beautiful bluish black curly hair. Why do you let that dust cover your face? You should not allow this, because then we cannot fully see it. So at the same time, we can note that at the same time that whatever comes in contact with Krishna's face, make it more beautiful. Still Gopis, they complain. We don't want to see covered with dust or covered by curly hair. We want to see it completely, not partially. So the Gopis want to see Krishna's face clearly, but at the same time, they become utterly fascinated when it is covered by a thin layer of dust and appears just like the moon rising from the darkness. They say, the moon is splendid with its diffusing rays, and your face has the same exquisite appearance. In fact, your face is more beautiful when it is partially hidden by the dust rising from the cow's hooves and by your curly hair. When they say that the foot dust of the cow is a wealth, they indicate its immense value, as it is utilized by Krishna to increase the beauty of his lotus face. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur has also shown this with reference to the Vishwa Prakasha Sanskrit dictionary. Dhana, which means wealth, refers to Godhana, the wealth of cows. Shri Krishna becomes gladdened by their words and thinks, I am most fortunate. Taking these cows out to graze in the forests of Vrindavan has given me an opportunity to meet with you, gopis. It is only by the medium of the cows that I can freely be with you. Krishna feels indebted to the cows and is happy when their food dust settles on his face. This is his inner mood. So here we can understand that actually Krishna only takes cows for grazing as an excuse. Because what he really wants is to meet with the gopis in the forest. And he will leave his friends and the cows. And then he will go to meet Radharani, Radhakunda, and all the gopis. And he will perform so many pastimes during this time. And then again, they will join the cows and the friends, by the end, and then he will return home. He also has an inner reason for wearing a peacock feather. The peacocks and peahens' beautiful dancing with each other induces him to dance as well. Now, this is a very nice part of Gopi-gita. The peacock feather stimulates his love for the gopis, for it induces him to dance with them. In fact, Rasalila was inspired by the dancing of the peacocks. For this reason, Krishna has placed their feathers on his head. And for this reason also, they are a wealth. So the reason why Krishna is using this peacock feather is because that is reminding him of dancing, dancing with gopis. So it is inspired by the peacock that he dances with the gopis. So this Rasa Lila is also inspiration. How peacock dances very beautifully to the peahens. So in the same way, Krishna is dancing and showing himself to the gopis. Then he puts the peacock feather on his head just to show I am the peacock and all of you are like the peahens. The gopis are accustomed to watching Krishna as he returns from the pasturing grounds with the cows, his arms entwined about the heads of the cows in an embrace. They also observe him as he appears to search for his cowherd friends. To ordinary people, it seems that he is simply seeking the cowherd boys and cows. He does not want to openly reveal his true motive, which is actually to look for the gopis. Moreover, among millions of gopis, he is looking for one gopi in particular. Now, in their song of separation, the gopis say, when we see you searching in this way, we become restless and feel that we cannot live a moment longer without you. Seeing you embrace the cows and cowherd boys, we desire that you do the same with us. This is called smara. So when they will see one situation like Krishna embracing a cow, they remember how is Krishna embracing them. In that way, this is the association of this type of remembering. But one thing also we have to say understand is that there are different gopis looking to Krishna. Some gopis, they were not able to go in the forest and meet with him during the day, for example. They're just at home and they're waiting for him to return to see him. There were gopis who were with him in the forest, and they were like, they spend the day with him. They're not feeling that much separation as the others who could not go. So in this way, there are many circumstances being described at the same time. Okay. So the gopis say, we suffer greatly in separation from you, from morning until the time we see you again. But then, when we do see you, we suffer even more than before because our desire to see you has increased. So now this is the gopis which have not seen Krishna during the day. So therefore they say, from morning when you left to the forest till now when you are returning to the forest, we are waiting to see you again. But as we see you again, our desire, what to say, we suffer even more. At the time, we may be compared to a thirsty person standing on the bank of the river Ganga, thinking, Ganga is here. I have come from very far away to drink its water, and I have been through so many difficulties to get here. The water is beautiful and sweet, but there is no place of access or ghat whereby I can reach the water. It is very difficult. We are thirsty, and flowing water is available in huge quantities, but we cannot drink it. So your face is exceedingly attractive because of the dust that partially hides it. But the cowherd boys and cows are present when you return from herding the cows, and so are our fathers and mothers. The smara you give us at that time cannot satisfy us. It only pains us. So this comparison is like they can see Krishna very close by, but they cannot touch him. They cannot embrace him. They cannot kiss him. They cannot even speak to him. And they were so thirsty, so eager to see him, and becomes even more suffering. Just like if you are very thirsty and you come in front of a huge body of water, clean, fresh water, but you cannot access it. You suffer even more due to that type of frustration. You consider, whoever sees my face will drown in the ocean of happiness. And this is especially true for us. Smara certainly appears in our hearts. You know this, and that is why you show us your face again and again. You want to increase our smara, but because you cannot give us what we want, that smara only increases our distress. And what the gopis want, they want to be, directly with him. According to the gopis, Shri Krishna calls them with the promise that he will give them what they want. Come and take it, he announces. But when they come, he deceives them, giving them only distress, calamities, and agony. They want to avoid seeing him, but he calls them and they cannot stay away. The melody of his flute pulls them forcibly to him, and they are compelled to see him. But when they arrive, there is no meeting. They tell him, you maddened us with the melody of your flute. You dragged us here to this secluded forest at night, and now we are weeping and wandering here and there, unable to see you. We have come to the conclusion that you are certainly a hero, for you are expert in giving suffering to others. You are indeed most munificent in this. You show your prowess in killing millions of gopis, but you should understand that all the agony you cause us will come upon your head. You will be held responsible for this. So now the gopis again, they are coming to their situation, which is being wandering in the forests, searching for Krishna. Okay, this is another scenario again coming. It's not more about him returning from forest. Therefore, they are saying, you have called us here by your flute. You have made us very mad for you to be with you. And now you have just disappeared. And you're going to be responsible if we die. You have taken away our dharma, the religious principle of fulfilling one's duties and responsibilities to one's family and dynasty. And you have taken away our shyness, patience, chastity, and other feminine virtues. Although you have taken everything from us, we still cannot do what you want us to do. Die. At the same time, you do not want us to die, because if we die, you will not be able to find anyone else who can suffer as much as we have without dying. You see that we are suffering, and this makes you so pleased. Oh Krishna, you are certainly a hero. Now they're using a very sarcastic word, calling him a hero, but not a good hero. That type of hero who saves people from danger. He is a type of hero which is making them suffer greatly and more. Even though it is maybe not possible to make them suffer even more, Krishna is able to make it. And the gopis say, if we die, you'll never find someone like us who can be able to tolerate everything just for your pleasure, for your happiness. No one in this whole world could take it. Only we are taking it. There is a point to note in Vaishnava Toshani, the commentary of Srila Jiva Goswami. Although Dina Parikshaye generally means the end of the day, in this context, the gopis mean to say that they have come to the end of their lives. They express their tragic mood thus: we have lost our tolerance and we are about to die. So please come at once and meet with us. This point is very important. It is easy to understand the ordinary meaning of Dina Parikshaye, but it is difficult to grasp the inner meaning of the gopis' pathos. It means that Dina Parikshaye is the end of the day, but for gopis, it means the end of their lives. As stated before, Nila Kuntale means by locks of curly blackish hair. Beauty actually lives in blackness. No matter how large one's eyes may be, they will not be beautiful if there is no black dot in the middle. One's face may be beautiful, but it will not look as beautiful if one's hair is white instead of black. What would happen if all the gopis' black hair were cut off? You cannot imagine. Likewise, the gopis' loveliness is exquisite, but if blackish Krishna were not with them, everything would be different. So this is so beautiful description, how the black color gives more beauty to anything. So the example of the eye, you know, the black dot in the eye, which enhances like the eye color, you know, of the iris of the eye, and especially the beauty of the gopis itself, because among the golden gopis, Krishna is the black spot, he's the black dot, and that will increase the beauty of the gopis. This is very nice poetry. So when Krishna's face is decorated and partly shrouded by his black hair, it becomes more beautiful. And then there is the smara. In one of his commentaries, Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur explains a specific point concerning the unique fortune of the family lineage of the cowherd community. The young gopas and young gopis, the paternal gopas and maternal gopis, the sight of Krishna's beautiful face is meant for the gopas and gopis alone. No one but they can fully see and relish it. Neither Vasudeva nor Devaki nor any of the Dwarakavasis can see this resplendent sight. Moreover, smara would not appear in the gopis' hearts in quite the same way if they were to see Krishna wearing his golden crown and opulent royal paraphernalia. The only desire of the gopas and gopis is this: may I always behold Krishna's lovely face. They do not want to see Dwarakadish Krishna, Mathuresha Krishna, or any other form of Krishna. They only want to see him in his form as a cowherd youth. And that we can also remember when they met in Kurukshetra. At that time, Krishna, he was dressed in his royal, attire, royal dress. And the first thing Gopi said was, we don't like seeing you like this. We like seeing you with your peacock feather, with your yellow pitambar and dhoti, holding your flute at the bank of the Jamuna, but not like this here. In their Venugit, as they discuss Krishna's beauty while he is cowherding, the gopis say that he is naturally decorated in a wonderful way. He carries two types of ropes for binding cows, one on his turban and the other on his shoulder. Rolled up on his turban is a type of rope for binding the back legs of the cows at the time of milking. And on his shoulders, he carries a rope for binding a calf nearby a cow in order to start the flow of milk. These are not mere ropes. They link the gopis' minds and hearts with Krishna. The gopis have so much smara at that time that only by seeing the beautiful vision of his face, but also by seeing the way in which he wears the robes. So now they glorifying the robes, how the robes also make Krishna somehow more beautiful. And now they say, you have given us a smara and also so much pain by showing us your face. We did not want to see it. We were in our rooms at home, behind closed doors, but someone came and opened the doors. He entered our hearts, stole them, and forcibly dragged us here. Muhur manasi nas smaram vira yachasi. Here, manasi refers to Kamadeva, the presiding deity of the mind. And it is the mind that manifests smara. The gopis say, you drag us towards you, and then you put that smara in our mind by showing us your face. Why do you repeatedly show your face? We want a remedy for our smara, but instead it increases. We know that you are a hero, but your heroism goes only as far as giving smara and killing gopis. So in this way, this is the end of the 12th verse of Sri Gopi-gita. So again, gopis are using this word hero in a very sarcastic way, this vira. And so this heroism of Krishna is the capacity of killing millions of gopis at once. This is how gopis are addressing him here. So in this way, we will stop here and then continue next time with the next verse. Hare Krishna.